who are the most interesting teams in college football? Now, Nick Brake put this lower third together, and it's absolute money. It's the Dos Equis guy. I don't think we have rights to the song, otherwise we would play that in the background. But who are the most interesting teams in college football? Let's talk about it right now. I think USC, for me, top of that list when it comes to intrigue, for a couple of reasons. Y'all, we got a quarterback battle going on out there in L.A. A little Miller Moss action. Heise Miller, from what he was doing out there in that Holiday Bowl, is just throwing darts like it was his job. And I guess it was that day, playing in relief of Caleb Williams. And then you bring in Jaden Maiava from UNLV. Now, if you remember correctly, Jaden Maiava hits the portal. Really talented season. A really talented quarterback, great season at UNLV. Commits to Georgia originally. Does the old switcheroo. You know what? Lincoln Riley wants me to play quarterback for him at some point in time. I'm going to go with the quarterback whisperer. So now you got these guys getting after it behind closed doors. We talked to some folks over at We Are SC yesterday, and what I was told is the winner of the quarterback battle is USC. Like either way, whether it's Miller Moss or Jaden Maiava, USC's winning that quarterback battle. So it doesn't sound like a tremendous drop-off for Lincoln Riley when it comes to developing elite quarterbacks. This defense, man, say what you want. It's a brand new defensive staff. Brand new defensive staff. Danton Lynn, Eric Henderson, some real skins on the wall for those guys. I keep saying it now. You cannot overstate the juice that a new staff can bring to that kind of room. Just new energy, new philosophies, new vibe. It's massive. Absolutely massive. So what I will say is, when it comes to USC in 2024, moving into the Big Ten. So the emphasis on them having a solid defense, it was already important before in the Pac-12, but you are going to get real deal exposed if you don't bring those big boys up front and you don't stop the run, play sound football. Just kind of the fact of the matter. So for USC, the over-under win total for them is 7.5. If USC has a college football playoff level offense, how good can they be in the Big Ten? College football playoff level offense and the defense just a little bit better. They can hold serve against teams like, the Ohio States of the world, the Michigans, the Penn States. Just saying, could be a good deal. Now, they'll have a great test that first game of the season against LSU in Las Vegas. Excited to watch that. But I'm just saying, now you only get to make a first impression once in the Big Ten. Where does USC fall in the pecking order? Texas A&M. Also, massively interesting team. Vegas has them at an over-under of 8.5 wins. I think Vegas is just telling you, hey, we don't know what to do with them. Because the thing with A&M is it's never been really a matter of roster talent. It hasn't. It really hasn't. For me, it's always been a matter of structure, execution, putting the right pieces of the puzzle where they're supposed to go. And God bless Jimbo Fisher, they weren't able to do it. Now you bring in someone like a Mike Elko, who quite frankly has done more with less with his time at Duke. I think there's a massive disruption opportunity for the folks at A&M. They play 4 college football playoff contenders during this season. And the funny part about this for A&M now, the guys that they bring back, their top 20 in returning production, bring back their quarterback who really, we haven't really seen him play a full season just yet, but we've seen him in flashes do some really exciting things in Connor Wegman. There's no college football playoff buzz around A&M right now. But I don't think we should ignore the fact that this definitely could be the year with the talent they have, the structure they could have. Just saying, A&M could be a force this year. Very, very interesting to see what they do. Definitely one of the most interesting teams in the college football world. Oklahoma. Again, Vegas telling us no idea what to do with this team. Over-under is 7.5 wins for them, which you see the Oklahoma logo, a team that you've been accustomed to competing for a Big 12 title year in and year out during the Lincoln Riley and Coach Stoops days. Really strong year, too, for Brent Venables as they move into the SEC. Had a tough year the first year, kind of get your footing, first time being a head coach. Second year, double-digit win seasons. Okay, now we go. You bring back 79% of the production on defense from a year ago, which is massive. Brand new quarterback in Jackson Arnold. And the thing about Oklahoma, I really think the defense is going to be okay. I think the defense is going to be more than fine to hold up their end of the bargain in the SEC. And I know that's kind of the punchline for a lot of folks is, get ready for those SEC trenches. You're ready for those big boys up front, man. They're going to take y'all to the woodshed. See, I don't think that's going to happen to Oklahoma. I really don't. But I think when you talk about Oklahoma and whatever your prediction is for them when it comes to succeeding or failing in 2024, it is directly tied to Jackson Arnold. As he goes, they will go. Now, do they have the weapons to allow him to have success that he needs to have? Remains to be seen. But a lot of it obviously is going to fall on the new starter for Oklahoma at quarterback. Big thing with Oklahoma as well in 2024. We said it about USC. I'm going to say it about Oklahoma. You only get to make a first impression once. This is your first chance to do it. And when I say first impression, I'm talking about recruits, right? Because Oklahoma internally, the rest of the SEC, like nobody's going to look over Oklahoma over the course of the next 3 years and say, easy dub. Oklahoma's always going to be Oklahoma. And I truly believe Brent Venables is a good football coach. But when it comes to making a first impression for recruits, you get to tell kids, hey, when we go to the SEC, this is who we're going to be. You finished 7th in the SEC. Oh, boy, hey, I might look a little bit closer at Texas A&M, and the schools that you're competing against to try and land these guys. But you land, top 3 in the SEC, top 4 in the SEC your first year in the conference. Say, hey, it's only year 3 for Brent Venables. Look at the direction this thing is trending. First year in the best conference in America, and we're top 3, top 4. We need you to come be a part of it. Help us reach the pinnacle here. So the first impression cannot be more important than it is right now for Oklahoma as they move into the SEC when it comes to acquiring talent. Last team with massive, massive intrigue, if you ask me, Clemson Tigers. Now, this is one win total that I have said a couple of times. I think it's a little bit rich for my liking. Their over-under is at 9.5 wins. But the ACC, to be fair, is a walking question mark. It's a walking question mark. I don't know what Florida State's going to be. Their 83rd in returning production. They've been great with the portal historically, but can they do it again? Can they pull the rabbit out of the hat again or rabbit out of the portal yet again? Miami, we'll see. The thing with me with Clemson is they returned their quarterback. That's kind of a more of a rare thing when you look across the ACC for those teams that we expect to be, contenders for that conference. Florida State, new quarterback. Miami, really good, but new quarterback. Louisville, new quarterback. NC State, new quarterback. Clemson brings back Cade Klubnik for another go-around with Garrett Riley. Can we circle the wagons? Can we circle the wagons, Dabo, and get the boys going and find a way to get over that 9.5 win mark and compete for an ACC title yet again? Because they won the thing in 2022, but the way that last year went, I think optically kind of ruffled some feathers and was below their standards they've come to expect out there. For the record, the standard that Dabo Swinney has set out there. Another 8-win season is going to make it feel like, I don't know if this is the case, but this is the way it's going to feel, is that Dabo Swinney's way of doing things doesn't work. Is that fair? I don't know, but that's how it would feel if they won 8 games yet again. To me, it all hinges on this offense being able to create explosives. Because that Clemson defense last year, one of the better defenses in the country, in my opinion, definitely one of the better defenses in the ACC. But you look at what they did offensively. You see the points per game total, 26 points per game. Probably got to be 9 to 10 points better to compete for the conference title. Again, based on what we've seen throughout the course of that conference the last couple of seasons. Numbers show you got to probably score 35 a game. 6 yards a pass for Clemson last year. 6 yards. Y'all, it's good for 121st in America. There's only 134 teams. You cannot play conference competing football, college football playoff competing football, averaging 6 yards a pass. Can't do it. Some of that's personnel. Some of that's on Cade Klubnik. Some of that's on the strategy, the scheme. But as a whole, they need to create more explosives. And I think they got some guys in that receiver room that are poised to step up and do so, including some young bucks. So we'll see what happens there, but just keep an eye on the explosives for Clemson. That's going to correlate directly, in my opinion, to their aspirations to competing for an ACC championship. So a lot of interesting teams here. We got USC, A&M, Oklahoma, Clemson. A lot of intrigue, a lot of interesting teams with some very massive question marks and some very big opportunities, quite frankly, in front of them. Hey, y'all, thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel here to make sure you don't miss an episode of The Hard Count. Also, be sure to check out other videos on the On3 YouTube channel.